just fucking his own video. Oops.
Yep. Yep. That's only because of this grade 2, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Team Hemp channel, guys. I am now here with Senor Crispy Bacon. He is on the team as well. If you guys are here in New York, you have met him. This is actually his first time going to an event outside of Texas, right?
Yeah.
So
Not my first time in New York, though.
So this is actually his first deck profile on the channel. So be kind, everyone. Don't say mean things in the comments. I will read them. So with that being said, it's all you, man.
All right, so I guess I will start out with the grade 3s.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, I have to show off the pretty one first.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, zoom up. Yep. There we go.
Yep.
Close up of the pretty boy.
The pretty boy, the Rising Nova. Now, sadly, the G1 did not really come up as much as I would like to. We'll probably have to cut it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about that, but I also just wanted to play it because it's pretty. Like, that was literally the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
The other ones are the regular VR ones, which, as most people know, Rising Nova is able to copy other grade 3s, and I will show you the typical combo of the Juggernaut Maximum, and Greedon. So, restaining 3 times in a Spec Brother deck is pretty cool. I like being Overlord and just having a good time with it.
Overlord with football armor.
Yes, with football armor. For the rest of my grade 3s, we have 2. I will put them up here. 2 Deadly Lucifer. This is our counter charge. That is literally his only use. He is just to be a body that counter charges.
Oh, excellent.
And for the last grade 3, this was from, I don't remember which list this was. I think it was last week's regionals. That they played 1 of the V-Era Skydiver. And I wanted to try it out for this event, and I'm really liking it. Pretty much all he does is return 2 normal units to the deck, and you get 5k for each card returned. But being able to return combo pieces, I think, is awesome. And he's also a target for our best grade 1 to get out either more Dexters, our Greedons, or our Max, or just the setup for that turn. So, cards are good.
So that's all the 3s.
Yep. I will go to the 2s. If I can grip onto the cards. So, for the grade 2s, we're playing Forerunner. She searches all our grade 3s. She is also a booster for set grade 3s. Usually I'll end up searching the Lucifers or the Skydiver if I've gone through the Lucifers. She also helps with extending for our combo turns or our galley turns with the stand trigger. So those are her main uses. We have Agile Fullback. He is back row football, which is just awesome. So if y'all don't know what he does, when you place him in the back row, you are able to swing. But if he's called through an ability, he gets 10k instead, or on top of that. And then if he survives, because retiring is the thing, you put the Agile back in the soul to call a copy from the deck. Of course, that copy sent to his Spirit Guard gets 10. We are also playing Bracky. I really wanted to focus this list a lot more on the grade 2 game because I really want to fight for Shred, generally speaking, especially in the Mega Colony matchup.
I feel that's a call out to our teammate Kevin.
A little bit, but I also really appreciate the practice. So with his feedback, I really was able to make the list the way I wanted to. That helped to fight against this matchup. So thank you, Kevin. But also fuck you. A little bit about that. So I am playing a very old of Jumbo the Stun Gun. The rest of these cards are going to be my one-ups. Okay. So Jumbo the Stun Gun, this actually came up in my round 6 against Chaos. And so my opponent damage denied me at 2. And he saw that both my Lucifers were gone. And he's like, okay, he doesn't have any way to countercharge. I still had the Jumbo the Stun Gun in the deck, and I spun with Gowie. Of course, Gowie doesn't cost anything. So I called out the Stun Gun to extend, and he's like, oh, shit, wait, you have game now. So I was very happy to have this guy in the deck. I do get really sad when he goes to damage just because I just like him as an elephant. It's just a thing.
Confirm.
We also have Laser Blackguard. He is
That's an
old
old grade 2 as well.
Yeah, so yep. There's actually going to be one other old grade 2 in here, but Laser Blackguard, his main role is to search out the stand trigger. Actually, that's his only use. But if I'm wanting to do galley turns and do more swings than normal, and I happen to have the CB, I will go into Blackguard to then search out the stand and extend from there. I'm gonna save the last one one of my cards for last. But we're gonna go and talk about Breach Spirit, which I know James. I know as an alt-mile player, you hate this card
Get
so
the card
much.
away from me.
I know you hate this card. On one hand, I am sorry, but the other hand, I'm not sorry. I love it.
Dislike.
Dislike? Oh, damn.
Much dislike.
Much dislike. Team captain disliking his own
Yep.
video. Oops.
Yep. That's only because of this grade 2, guys.
Yeah. So
Only
what
'cause
this
of
grade 2 does, which I love, is when he swings, you can put a normal unit to the bottom of the deck, and your opponent is forced to intercept as much as possible.
Yeah.
And of course, as you'll know, with alt-mile specifically, he's able to intercept from back row as well. So forcing like 5 cards out of your deck, or
Yeah,
your
if I
board,
don't- yeah.
off your board.
Yeah,
is
something like
awesome.
that. I appreciate it.
Especially if all you're doing is swinging for 10, and you just force like 5 extra
No.
cards out of the opponent.
Nah.
And then the last card that sadly did not come up at all during the weekend was Mayhem Tiger.
The kitty cat.
Yes, and so his effect is charging when you Soul Blast, GP1. If your opponent puts a card in the Guardian circle, you can Soul Blast 1 and retire that Guardian. Of course, PGs get around it, but when your opponent just puts a 15k or even a G guard, you can say Soul Blast 1, retire it. Keep guarding, keep trying. This can just win you games, but sadly for this whole weekend, just never came up at all, considering cutting it, because I'm now feeling like it's a win more option. So sad to see him not be as successful as I wanted him to be, but it's okay. It was worth trying.
Yep.
So on to my grade 1s. I was about to grab my 0s. There you are. So, we will start with the best grade 1 in the entire deck that I was mentioning before. For Ambush Dexter. I wish I had my triples, but all I have are the old doubles. But so what he does is, he does have a Vanguard skill, which does come up on occasion. So when placed on Vanguard, you can discard a card and draw a card. I generally only like to do this when I'm going second, or if I don't have Nova, to try and filter out and get it, or to try and find our grade 3 searcher in order to find Nova. Because not writing Nova, I feel like I just auto lose. Not just for the Rising Read on play, but the double force marker, I feel like matters so much for that card. And I'm playing one of the old Acrobat Verity.
Okay.
This is the SP version. Again, because of my colony, I am considering changing this to the V1, because I just feel like I need to see even just any 3 to ride up into when they stun me with Gridora. It makes me really upset. And I also just don't like the 7k that much. I actually like being able to give my opponent damage. And actually the last 2 grade 2 units are Machine Gun Gloria, which I know, James, you are very happy to see.
Oh, yes. Because my fiance's name is Gloria.
Yes. So this, during rounds, came up a few times, but I'm not really considering keeping it. But so its effect is, when it's retired from Guardian Circle, you can counterblast 1 and call it out to rear. Which, if you want to set up a turn before, it's nice. But the main reason I use it is for its second skill. It says when it boosts, you are able to return both the unit that's boosted and herself to the bottom to draw 1. To clear out board for just Rising Nova combos, or against Narukami if I need it.
Okay.
On occasion.
Yep.
And then, of course, the one Sanctitude
Yep, enough said.
Yep.
It's a free PG.
Being able to G-guard against Bartholomew saved me today in round 7. With this
Oh, you
card.
mean PG with that, you mean?
Yeah, not G-guard, PG. Yes. As you can tell, I'm very tired. It's been a long day. Alright, so I will go on to the triggers. But first, I'll just say restarter.
Yep.
SP. It's pretty.
That's all you need to see.
Yep. That's what we get. 1 Dark States OT. Now, I know a lot of people are either playing the Red Cray Elemental OT or the generic one that I have way too many of. That's the 100 million twice. The only reason I play the Dark States OT is for the Chaos matchup. So if I see it, I feel like I'm actually able to keep up with Chaos. That is the only reason it's there. Red OT for Cray Elemental clashes with Galley. Because Galley says after your rear guard swings, it has to go to the bottom. And the red OT says or the skills just clash. So when you swing, you stand back up, but Galley goes first, and so it just fizzles. So that's why I don't like running that. Of course, I play 4 heal guards. I'm considering playing 1 Deadly Daisy. Just for the counter charge and or soul charge. But I'm not 100% sold on that yet. That will require more testing for myself. But as a old Hell Heart 8 player, I generally like that card a lot.
Right. Yep.
But that's okay. I prefer not dying to rush.
Hence the 4.
Yeah, hence the 4. Let's see. We will go for the best, I feel like the best trigger in the deck, Mecha Instructor.
I hate this stand trigger. I hate
I'm
it
so sorry.
I don't believe you.
Don't. I love this card so much. My one complaint about this card is actually that it didn't get the foil in the Revival Collection. That's literally it. I am super upset about that.
Everything's shiny.
No, they gave us Devil Watch. Like the amount of annoyance I had that day when saying that, I was like, no. Okay, so what this does is GB1, when he goes to the bottom, you can put a card from hand to soul, bind a card from your board, and then call it back. So usually, we will go with Ambush Dexter, if we have a grade 2 already on board, to bind Dexter, call it back, move the grade 2 that we have on board into soul, to go 2 more 2s and extend. And if we have enough CB for the Laser Black card, we can extend even further and repeat this process. It is not infinite, but I kind of wish it was. But I'll take what I can get. Being able to swing with this, with Galley for 14, is nice for annoying pokes. So this is why it's run. I wanted to play 4, but for the next trigger I will be showing you, I felt like I had to only play 3. And that is the new Errata Wire Whips. So for her, of course, y'all know for the Errata, it says when it's checked for damage, it's a draw. But because I play Rising, she comes up on occasion where she goes into Soul, I draw a card. For Galley turn, or for Rising Vidon plays, that can come up. Just the extra 5k can matter on some occasions. So that is the reason she is played. And her being a 15k shield now is nice. I just wish I could play my SPs. But I'm always concerned somebody will say, Judge, that's not what the card says. And then, of course, the Errata's up, and I don't want to deal with that conflict. We play...
I still vote to run the SPs.
I'm in agreement, but for locals, I will. For regionals like this one, not so much. So of course now we have 2 of the great the Stripe Otter.
Yep.
That's what do we all choose that for?
Yep.
Or a 15k, and 3 drop PGs because we like the drop cards.
Yep. Combo pieces.
And
we need them.
Yep. So I will now go into the G zone. I will start with the most broken ass card in the deck as a 2 of. Bushy, why did you print this card? I feel like I'm like playing Hell Heart 8 on turn 1 on occasion, but in some cases even stronger. I had, actually again in round 7 when I played against Scramble, that came up where I had GB8, but my hand was just like 3 cards. and I felt like I got more value out of just swinging with Galley to get 2 free units instead of having to commit more cards to my hand in case they somehow didn't die. And yeah, that's just preference. It's free, no CV cost. Every time something swings, it gets 10 and then goes to the bottom. So like what I said with the stands, of course that extends attacks to going up to, with 1 CB under like optimal setup, can be like 10 to 12 swings that are above 23 on occasion. Yeah. Great card. Give me more of this. Give me more combo cards. I love this. For the next grade 3, we will just talk about the new errata stride. Again, like I said with the original Rising Nova, I feel like this did not come up as much as I would have liked it to. There are a few very niche scenarios where if I didn't have the G1 and I had the V1, riding up is terrible, where if I don't have the Rising V1 set up. But in most of those cases, I did have the G1, and so I would stride into this, and so doing even like 5 or 6 swings with an extra 5k on 2 of those swings is, was very helpful. It did not necessarily come up in any of the rounds this weekend, but I've had some cases in just practice games where it's like, it's really awkward to go into the original G Nova or V Nova, and G is better in that occasion. Of course, I don't have money. I just got lucky. One of our buddies at Vocals sold this to me for 40 when we were looking at the JP prices, and I got rid of my old one. So kind of needed this. This does help in the Link Joker matchup. And I feel like I had to talk about this card in combination with it because these two together are the only reason I can really sustain against Link Joker. So, to explain what this card does, I just call it the draw button or panic button. So you counterblast 1, you flip a card from the G zone, and for however many face-up cards you have in G zone, you draw the same amount of cards. And you also get the red text of you can soul blast 1, give a unit 10k. What I generally like to do against the Chaos matchup, if I feel like it's worth it at the time, is go into Ace first. Let's say I have 4 face up, and then I do this. I'll have 5. I'll draw 5, and just swing as much as I can, which is not like maybe 2 swings, along with drive check, and then go into this. And even discarding 2 doesn't feel as bad compared to like everybody else who does have outs. And compared to how we used to play, where it's just like, we have no options. We just pray we can kill you fairly fast. And if that doesn't work, we just auto boost. At least that's my opinion on the matter. I am also playing the anti-Narukami stride for, sorry James, I feel like half these cards are checked against your stuff, or Kevin's.
It's all good. That you call things from binds on. That's all he does.
Yeah, that's all he does. I only learned this recently, but if you look, I don't know if we can get it on camera, but if you look very closely at the SP version of the art, you can see that the rearguard circle symbol is slightly covering the last word of the still text. I just thought that was hilarious for a misprint. Like, usually it's just words, but like moving the circle just like slightly over, like, on one hand, I like it. The other hand, I wish it was the correct one.
This man was so proud to point this out to me last night. I just want to throw that on the record.
I was. I just thought, I don't know. Just something about this just is just appealing to me. And I feel like it just makes the card unique. Now, the regular triple rare version does not have this problem. Just the SP. Where's the errata exchange pushing? I would also like that, though, too. We have my 2 one-ofs for my strides. We have Villain Verminus.
Pretty good.
He never came up, actually, this entire tournament. But then again, he's also from Mega Colony. But I prefer going into Miracle Ace just to draw more.
Makes sense.
And usually I don't have the soul unless I'm on G. But half the time I'm not on G. So this could potentially be a flex spot for any Spike Brother players out there. I got to run into one for Mirror today, which was awesome. And then we played one Hell Heart 8.
Because Hell Heart 8, simple said.
Yeah. If y'all know what this does, we used to turbo into this and just try and kill you off of our first stride, because we'd get to first stride and it would beat us. It was awesome. Now, not so much. Like, I still prefer Gowie on a lot of occasions, unless I have the hand for it. I'll go on the G-Guards. So, we play what is now considered like my favorite G-Guard in the entire deck.
Two of these?
Yes. And so what this card does is you counterblast one, you're able to return 3 normal units from the bottom of your deck, or from your drop to the bottom of your deck. She gets the shield equal to each of the cards returned. But if you return to 3, you draw a card.
Okay.
I like being able to break even with this card, even for the CB. I also like being able to return my Lucifers for the CC. My Dexters, if I have to pitch them or if I have to guard with them. My Verdes, Glorias, just any of my ones. Because usually I will target my ones. I will generally only target my grade 2s if it's my 1-ofs. And I feel like they're necessary for the matchup. But this has become just my favorite card. Just for the draw. Like, that is just so cool to me. I like draw cards. That's why I play Panic Button. Just to draw cards. And we have 1 Hecatomb Geese.
I feel like he's a staple.
Yeah, but he's cool if I guard with OT. Because I can return the OT. I can also return my heals because he says you return 3 cards with different grades. Doesn't matter what kind of unit they are. They can be triggers or normal units. So usually I'll pitch my heal, return the heal, return my OT if I guarded with it, or return my stance, and return another combo piece that is a different grade. And he gets 10k. He came up a few times during the weekend, but I like it at 1-of. That's my comfort spot for this card. If we went back to turbo version, then I'd probably play more. But we're not at that point anymore.
Okay.
And then for the last G-Guard, we played Terrible Linus. If y'all played Hellheart 8 Turbo, you know this card very well.
Yep, sure do.
He is our flip G-Guard. He says you move a card into Soul, and you get 10k for every 2 open records. Now, the moving the card to Soul is not the cost. But if I feel like I need the Soul, it's there. Or if I feel like I need to clear out 1 unit just to get the full 20k on the shields, that helps. But he's just gone down in use for me personally. As we got the new G-Guard, and just our defensive options in general, I feel like have improved with standard in mind. And that is it for my profile. Actually, one last thing. I just want to show this up. I just like my SD stick. I just like
this
my
guy. You can tell he likes Spike Brothers.
I do. I might have a problem.
Nah, no problems here.
No problems here.
The problem is your deck is not SP'd out enough.
I know, but have you seen those prices?
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant to go in on this. Yes, I know I bought the 1G or SP, but it was my birthday.
Hey,
and I'm like,
baby steps.
Baby steps. Like, we'll get there. Actually, no, I'm never gonna SP out this deck. I got one reason. That Greedon alternate art.
Rip.
Yeah. What is it? Like $200?
Shoot. No thanks.
Like, if somebody has it for like reasonable, please hit me up on that. Like, I'll pick it up off you because I'd love to SP out this deck. Favorite clan. So, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
That is my profile.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're very tired after a long day, but
It's been a long day, that's for sure.
But appreciate you going over the deck profile. I know there's going to be some Spike stands out there reviewing it, especially the buddy of yours you met today.
Yeah, so I'll go over my rounds a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Just for a second. Round 1 was against Ethan from Kingslayer Cards. He was a great opponent to play against because just his attitude during our round was just really positive, and just I felt like started me off on a good foot. Now I did lose, but just that positive energy kept me going for the tournament. So thank you, Ethan. Shout out to you. I also learned because I completely forgot about Pale Moon's G card, that says, I'm going to return a standing unit to your soul. And I got shut out from my Galley turn, so lesson learned there. But hey, I learned a lot. I had fun with that round.
Okay.
Round 2, fuck Narukami.
Okay, enough said.
But also, fuck my deck for bricking.
Dang.
Because that just... I'm like, I know I lost. Like, I got nothing on that one. I can't do anything.
Yep.
So, like, I can't say fuck Narukami necessarily, but still fuck Narukami. Round 3...
Demonetized.
Oh. Round 3 was against... Now, I might be flipping these because it was... Oh, no, it was Gurgwit. I felt so bad for my opponent because I did full Galley... Rising Greedon combo. And by the time he hit his grade 3, he was at 5. So getting him to 5 that quick and then just Galley comboing for game, like, I just felt like the guy gave up. Nice dude, but like, I just felt bad. Now round 4, okay, I felt bad for round 3. Round 4, I felt awful for my opponent, but I also thought it was cool as shit to do. Was he played Tsukuyomi. He did not make it to grade 2 or grade 3, excuse me. I again did Rising Greedon combo. Got him to. Actually, I killed him on the Rising Greedon combo turn. I started the combo at 1 damage and he was at 1. First check was a heal. So I ended that game with 0 damage to 6. Like, it was cool for me, but then I also was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, no OT either, just blowout game for him.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was. But a nice dude though. I feel like all my opponents, for the most part, outside of maybe like 1 or 2 rounds, were like nice people. So I really appreciate that. Round 5. Round 5 was probably my favorite matchup because it was the mirror that the other Spike player that I had met. Shout out to Pablo. He is also an Aquaforce player, but I enjoyed that he was playing Spikes over the weekend. Just because I know the deck so well, like I feel like the mirror match was not as scary as I thought it was going to be because I don't really play the mirror at home at all in Texas because nobody plays it. Hamster, please get on that. Please fix that. Like, I need a practice partner. Yes, I'm calling you out. So,
all right, nice.
But it was cool. Like I really enjoyed his energy playing in the rounds, and it was a good time. I won that one. To give, because I forgot to mention, my record was 5-3 for the event. So for round, we're on 6. I can't count. It's been too long. I've too much math. Round 6 was chaos, and I did not hit the OT. So like in that specific instance of me wanting to have it, didn't matter. But I did go second. So having these 2 things, the tickets, and my opponent says Deluge, and just says 2 cards from hand. I'm like, okay, cool. I kept them just for that setup. But he also didn't hit like any of his like really solid grade 2s, grade 1s.
Ooh.
Outside of maybe a couple Craven Claws, but he still whiffed on his grade 2 searches. I ended the game with only 1 locked card, so I could still actually combo. James, I'm glad I took revenge for you. This was your
yeah,
round.
it was my first round opponent. Yeah.
So that felt really good, and shout out to my buddy Ryan, not me did, but my other buddy Ryan from Houston. He plays Chaos, and so I practiced with him a lot just to prepare for that matchup because that's his favorite deck. So that helped
so
me
you
a lot.
knew the matchup for
I
sure.
knew the matchup for sure.
Okay.
But also having my opponent just low roll and me going even having these was just a blessing. Round 7, I should not have won.
That's against Granblue, right?
Yeah, that was the Granblue matchup. I 6 damage healed on my opponent's Bartholomew turn where they had 2 dragons. I happened to keep the blitz order in hand. And I had 2 PGs, and I had about 6 cards in hand after the 6 damage heal. And one of them was a Strife Fighter, so I was still able to full combo afterwards. But I should not have won that game. Glad I did, but
Dang.
But like I know in the back of my head, I'm like, they had it. Like, like I even hit OT, and I'm still just like, no, I can't. But glad I won.
It is what it is.
And round 8, I got blown out by Steam Maidens. Yeah, we bricked.
Nah, just blame the maidens.
No, I can't blame the Maidens. When I got stuck at grade 1, I'm like, oh shit. I think we're dead. So I accepted my loss in that game. Was proud of my placement regardless. I did not run into a single Gridora, as you heard. So practice felt slightly pointless. Still appreciated, but
It's all good.
like not running into it when I actually wanted to run into it to see if the practice helped felt kind of bad. But I had a good time. I really enjoyed being able to come out here with you guys and just enjoy the tournament, play some fun games. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining the team. Thank you for coming out with us, man. If you guys want to see this man on the channel anytime soon, or again, please leave in the comments below. We do read them, I promise. And anything else you want to say, man, before we log off?
Nah, I got nothing. I just had a good time.
All right, that's all we gotta say. Simple and sweet. Take
Yep.
care, everyone. Have a good night.
Later.